Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining me, Kevin, at Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. Now, I thought I'd speak about this because I got myself in a bit of trouble a couple of days ago after speaking to somebody that I know. I won't mention names or anything. Um, and what I was talking to them about was rape. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Kevin, why the hell are you going to get involved in this? You're a man, you're a middle aged white man. What do you know about rape? So, my question is, do more women that get raped need to come forward? So, that's my fundamental question. Okay. And the reason I ask this is because over the years, I've known a lot of women that have been raped or sexual assaulted. Okay, I've known quite a few. Okay, and I can't hide. In fact, a lot of them quite badly. Now, where I get the ump up, and part of my problem is I run an online news publication. Okay, and I get all these press releases from the Met Police, Hampshire Police, Surrey Police, Wiltshire Police, Sussex Police, City of London Police, the Met Police. I can't remember if I've said them already. National Crime Agency, the FBI, Interpol, Europol. I get them from everywhere. I think I've named virtually everybody that I get press releases from. Okay, when it comes to crime. And the thing is, what really annoys me, okay, is when people say that the conviction rates are really low. And there's no hiding from it. You can't hide from it. If you actually go and do the research and actually look, but when you take into account the amount of rapes that are happening to it can being converted, it's really low. It's like I think it's something ridiculous like 10%. But when you go and look at the rates from them actually taking them to trial, so the CPS actually taking the case and then taking it to trial, it's a fairly high conversion rate, somewhere around about 50 to 60%. So more than what every other one is getting they're getting convicted. Okay. And where I get annoyed, okay, is the amount of women that I know that I will say allege, okay, who have alleged that they've been raped or sexually assaulted and they do nothing. Now, I can't pretend to say it's going to be pretty horrible going into a police station or having to go to a hospital or something and having all the tests and checks and everything done and then getting grilled by some coppers down the cop station. And then if it's going to go further and it's going to go to court, being grilled by some defense attorney, okay, because they're going to make turn you into meat at the end of the day and come up with any dirt that they can on you, if they can find any, that is. Okay, that ain't going to be nice. Ain't going to be nice for a single second. I remember many years ago, I had to have operation on my urethra. Okay, and the day I went for my initial test, okay, not many people know about this. I remember my mum saying to me, leave your dignity at the doors of the hospital, which was St Richard's in Chichester, and on your way out, pick it up again. Which I would expect a lot of expecting mothers go down that route because it is pretty degrading a lot of the things you've got to go through. Now, taking something like that, I'm not sure that most women that's going to actually work for them, but this is the only real argument I can use. And it is the only real argument. And when I put this forward, I'm going to look like a scumbag for saying it. Because the reality is that most men, because it is normally men that commit rapes and sexual assaults, it's not play around with it. That's the case. If they commit one, they're liable to commit a second, and arguably a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, until they get stopped. That's the reality of it. You know, so the thing is, and this is the way I look at it is, if you're number one, you got to do something. No matter how demoralising and degrading it is going to be for yourself, and I expect it is going to be, you got to do something. Okay, so if that means you got to sit in a hospital or go to the police station and be fairly degraded, I would say that you should do that. And this is the reason I've always put. Now, I watch a lot of crime programs, and I have for many years. And maybe it's rubbed off on me that it's got me looking things in the wrong ways at times. And I remember that seeing a statistic, and it said, in a nutshell, that if you have a man that, for instance, flashes, odds are they're not just going to be a flasher. And the classic case is the one from in the 1980s, which was, I believe, the first case of a crime being solved due to DNA in the UK. Okay, DNA wasn't actually used. I can't remember the guy's name. Okay, I think he's out now. Okay, so he was a flasher, ended up raping 2 or 3 young girls. When I say young girls, I think they were teenagers, and went on to murder at least 2 of them. Okay, it may have been more, but I know at least 2, and that was in Derbyshire. Okay, and that was mid to early 1980s. Okay, and he only got caught because he got somebody else to take the blood, the DNA test. He grasped to one of his friends, and then they went and reported it to the police. Okay, so case wasn't solved due to DNA, but it would have been at the end of the day. So the reality is, a lot of sexual predators are going to go further. A rapist isn't just going to stick to rape, and eventually it's going to turn to murder. And the way I look at it is like this: is what happens if you was number one, and I hate saying this because I got in trouble for saying this the other day, and next time it's not rape and it's a murder. How are you actually going to feel knowing that potentially you could have stopped it from going that far? I'm not saying that you would have been able to stop it, but the potential that you could have. And that girl would arguably still be alive, and she's probably got a brother or sister. She may have children. She's going to have a mother or father somewhere, and she's dead because you couldn't bring it to yourself. And I know that's a horrible thing for me to say. I know it's really horrible, and I don't like saying it. So my question is should more women come forward, or am I wrong? And if I'm wrong, that's fine. That's fine. I can live with that. Okay. But at least explain to me why I am wrong. Because the way I see it is more women should be coming forward. okay, to get these scumbags off the street. And let's not try and pretend that they're all foreigners coming in on the boats from over in France, because they're not. Okay, so let us know in the comments down below what you think. If you think I'm wrong, like I said, that's fair enough. Let me know, but at least tell me why I'm wrong. So for now, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all again a bit later.